it's not working that right. So there we go.
Welcome to Let's Talk Cabling, your gateway to the world of ICT. Get ready to dive deep into knowledge that
I almost said Wednesday night, 6 p.m. It's not Wednesday night. Welcome to a special edition of Let's Talk Cabling. I've never done a live stream on Monday nights. Never done one. Tonight is a special one. Today is not today, this week is the 5-year anniversary. 5-year anniversary of the podcast. 5-year anniversary for the podcast. And I got gifts for you. I'm going to go over the history of the podcast, and then I'm going to be I'm going to be putting questions up in the thing. I'm going to be giving away Let's Talk Cabling poker chips. I'm going to be giving away an Omni tool shelf. I'm even giving away a special Let's Talk Cabling challenge coin. Now, these are normally reserved for people who donate more than $500 to the podcast, or people who really make an impact. So I got one special question for a challenge coin recipient at the end of the podcast. So make sure that you follow that. So there you go. Yeah, one special coin. So let's just start off with the right. I think the podcast will be 5 years old. I never. I hate to say this. I didn't think I'd make it 5 years. I really didn't. When I first started doing the podcast, I didn't think it would last. I didn't think there'd be enough interest for it to go on. I had somebody once to ask me at a meeting, at a sales meeting, and I had them ask me, "Well, Chuck, how can you do a podcast about cabling? How do you come up with enough stuff to make shows about?" That's easy. That is easy. Now, let's go ahead and let's just do one of these. Let's do one of these right out of the gate. Right, here we go. First question. I got a set of stickers. What was the original name of the podcast? What was the original name of the podcast? Tell it in the chat box. The first person who gets it is going to get a set of Let's Talk Cabling stickers and a Let's Talk Cabling poker chip. What was the original name of the podcast? Let's see who gets this. Okay. It's a tricky one because there was only, I think, maybe 4 or 5 episodes, and then I had to change the name. I'm not going to get into why I had to change the name, but I did. I had to change the name. But it used to be called something else. So what was the original name of the podcast? I got a set of stickers for the first person. It started 5 years ago, and I'm going to play an excerpt of that podcast. So please, make sure that your ears don't bleed because it was horrible. It was horrible, right? Geronimo's saying, real cool data dude. Nope, that wasn't it, but it's close. It's close. It's close. The original name of the podcast was 5 Minutes with an RCDD. 5 Minutes with an RCDD. That was the original name of the podcast. As a matter of fact, the podcast has had 4 different intros. 4 different intros. You just heard the most recent one. I love the new one. It's electric. It's high energy. I love the new one. Love the new one. But let's listen. Let's listen to the first intro. You ready? Here we go.
Don't hang up that phone. We have found what you are looking for. Welcome to the 5 Minutes with an RCDD podcast.
Well, seems how we're pulling Category 6A, the most powerful twisted pair.
Yeah, it was horrible. Hey, extra credit if somebody can name who was the voice of that podcast. Who was the voice of that intro? If you think you know, right? But yeah, it's changed 4 different times. I love the new one now. The new one's electric, and a lot of people I get asked a lot of questions about doing podcasts because I do podcasts, right? Love the bucket of dial tone and the cable stretcher intro. Yes, yes, I did like it too. Matter of fact, if you actually watch my videos, every once in a while you'll see a bucket of dial tone show up in it, and every once in a while you'll find a cable stretcher show up in it, right? So actually, that's a great question, G Brown. I'm just going to ask that next. So let's go, since he's already answered that question. Let me put this out there. Where is that question at? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. There we go. How long? Well, wrong question. Let's go do this one. Go ahead and answer in the chat box. Tell me, how has this podcast helped you? Go and tell me in the chat box, how has this podcast helped you? Because let's make no mistake, this podcast is not my show. I'm the host of Let's Talk Cabling, but it's not my show. This show is yours. Now I'm pointing to TikTok and I'm pointing to everybody else over here. This show is yours. Okay. I'm just the host. So tell me in the box, how has this show helped you? Now, I mentioned earlier that I get asked a lot of questions from people about starting the podcast. You know, people want to, I want to get the right equipment and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to tell you right now, just hit record. Just hit record. That's how you do it. Now, I'm going to play an excerpt of my first podcast. You ready? Listen. I want you to listen to how horrible this is. So now you can really appreciate how much better I've got. I'm not, perfection is a journey. It's not a destination. So I'm going to get better and better and better. But I want you to listen to where I started. Listen to this. Ready? Here we go. Hit play. There we go.
Minutes with an RCDD, they're going to be short. Do I expect them to be 5 minutes? No. They'll probably be closer to 10 or 15 minutes. And who knows? I'll let the subject matter dictate.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was horrible. Yes. GC Brown says, it's helped me shape my career, business, and motivates me. It's more than a podcast. It's a journey. Exactly. So yeah, we started off 5 years ago, and I started off, a lot of people, I've said the story before. A lot of people may not have heard it, but I'll just go ahead and say it again. I was at a Bixie conference in Tampa right before COVID. And if you know me, when I go to the Bixie conference, I always attend those committee meetings. And in one of those meetings, somebody got up and they said, hey, take a look around the room. And we kind of looked around and said, yeah, there's a bunch of old people here. We need to get some new people motivated in this. And I was like, well, what can I do? And I realized, I actually have another podcast, another YouTube channel, although I haven't really posted anything for a couple of years because I've really been focusing on the Let's Talk Cabling stuff. And, so I know how to record videos. So I started doing episodes. And I wanted to gear it towards the 18 to 35-year-old people in the industry who were looking to get in the industry, but there's nobody to really motivate them, nobody to teach them, nobody to help elevate them. This show was originally designed for them. And then I learned from doing the podcast that I actually have two audiences, right? One, the people I talk about, the 18 to 35-year-olds who are field techs, project foremen, lead techs, stuff like that. But I also have project managers, designers, estimators, CEOs, COOs, CIOs who watch this show as well too. And so that's why I try to structure every show to hit both those buttons, right? So Sticky here says, am I going to be the 2026 Winter Conference? 99% yes. 99% yes. There's always a chance that I might not be. Something could happen. I'm not going to, something could happen, but 99% possibly yes. So you can almost bank on it. And I've done shows on technical stuff from as basic as the color code to what is an IDC to, POE to fault managed power systems to businesses, how to run your own businesses, sales. I've had authors on this show. I've had apprentices on this show. I've had technicians on this show. I've had CEOs on the show. CEOs. And to my knowledge, I am the only low voltage podcast that is not a manufacturer, right, or some company trying to sell you something, right? And my show's agnostic. Remember this when you listen to my show. Remember this: you are hearing Chuck's opinion, not my day job's opinion. My opinion. It's my show. It's my opinion, right? So I don't, it's agnostic. The show's agnostic, and I'm also the most consistent low voltage podcast out there. I do 2 episodes every week. The Monday is the episodes, and then Wednesday nights is the Q&A sessions. And then you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Clapper, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, pretty much everywhere I can think. The funny thing is, when I first started the show, it was 1 episode a week, and that was it. 1 episode a week. And now I am doing, like I said, the 2 episodes a week. Plus, I'm also doing the favorite things I love to do. My 2 favorite parts of doing this show. One is, and I'm going to play it short for you so you guys can see this, in case you haven't already seen already, the Lunchbox Learnables. What is IDC when you're talking about jacks and patch panels? IDC is an acronym that stands for Insulation Displacement Contact. So the Lunchbox Learnables is content that goes out to TikTok, Instagram. I have AI make an image, and like somebody, it'll always a lunch situation, and then they're either watching a screen or watching their phone, and I superimpose my video on it. Short, quick, 1.5, 2 minutes, about something basic. Lunchbox Learnables. And the other thing that I love doing.
Welcome to Chuck's Gallery of the Grotesque. Episode 2.
Yes.
A collection of some of the worst offenders.
Yes, my gallery of the grotesque, and where I take images I find off the internet of low voltage images that are just absolutely horrible. Let me go ahead and close that screen out.
Worst offenders.
Close that screen.
If you have pictures that you want to add to Chuck's,
there's a preview. There we go. So yeah, I love doing those. But hey, let's do another giveaway. All right, so nobody got the first one. Let me find my text messages. I'm on number 2 now. Number 2. Now I'm going to give away. What's number 2 on my list? Let's Talk Cabling hat. Let's Talk Cabling hat. Whoever gets this answer right gets a Let's Talk Cabling hat and a set of stickers, because nobody won the previous stickers. So the stickers in the chip. So hat, stickers, and poker. Here we go. Here comes the question. To date, as of right now, how many audio episodes are there of Let's Talk Cabling? The closest person, put your answers in the chat box. The closest person to it's going to win the hat, the stickers, and the poker chip. How many audio episodes? If you were to go on there right now it's hosted on Buzzsprout, but it goes out to Amazon, it goes out to Apple, it goes out to Google, it goes out to all of the platforms, right? How many audio episodes are there? Okay, so seeing some answers come in, and the closest one is Gary Brown, G Brown. Good God, Jerry. So think Fiber TM. Direct message me your mailing address, and I'll send you the hat and the stickers. Okay, so currently audio number of episodes is 338. 338 is the number of episodes right now that's been produced. Now, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. I told you, I've said this before, but I don't say it very often. So you may not know this. The first 5 episodes I recorded in a closet with a bunch of clothes around me. I didn't have this nice studio back then, right? So it was in a closet with clothes around because clothes absorb noise, and so that kind of progressed. And then, like I said, I've gained all the way up to let me see. Right now, I am at just about 18,000 followers across all the channels. Every month, I hit somewhere between 150 to 200,000 views, monthlies, views, and people interacting with the stuff. I have gone over 200 a couple times, but I'm usually between that 150 and 200. I'm still looking to grow, But here's the cool thing. 2 things I did not expect. I mean, I expected my audience to grow, but here's the things that I didn't expect. Number 1, I got an award from Bixie for the podcast, for being a member of the year for the stuff that the podcast is doing. So it is an award-winning show. And then I also got ranked number one podcast in low voltage by I can't remember who it is. I'll put down the description. I don't remember who gave me that title, but somebody did. So I'd never expected that. And there's still good things to come. Cole's in the house. Hey Cole, how you doing, my friend? There's still lots of stuff coming on. And but you know what? Let me ask you this. Let me put another poll question in the chat box. Okay, another poll question. Because like I said earlier, this show is your show. I'm just the host. So here's my question to you, and put your answer in the chat box, and I will capture all these. What content do you want to see more of? Okay, what content do you want to see more of? I do interviews, I do technical stuff, I do motivational stuff, I do, sales and business type of stuff. So let me know what is the what kind of content do you really want me to make more of? Because again, I want to make sure that you guys get what you need out of this show, right? Cole saying in TikTok, found out a couple days ago, huge data centers going in the backyard of my town. Time for a DC. That's a hard one to get. It's not easy. So yeah, make sure you tell me in the chat box, or you can also send me emails or direct messages too. Cooking on the grill. That would be a good episode, though. But I grow my own pigs, so there you go. So let me see. I like this one. This one's coming from Sean. Let me get this show on the stream. There we go. Hands-on testers tools are his favorite. Okay. So good news is I do have testers. And I bet you if I reach out to Trend, I bet you if I reach out to Softing, I bet you if I reach out to Fluke, because I already got the AEM, I could probably get hold of their testers and do shows about them. I bet you I could do that. I bet you I could do that. So yeah, so I love doing the hands-on stuff because, like I said, a lot of our we as an industry, we are bad about teaching people, and that's one of the reasons why I do this show. And one of the things I never truly expected was the community that this podcast has built. Like I said, 18,000 followers. Now that doesn't sound a lot to the major content creators, but you got to remember, I am not niched down. I am super niched down. Number one, you got to be in low voltage to understand what I'm even talking about. And number two, you got to be highly motivated and want to become better. So I am super niche down. So I'm never going to have 1 million people, on my show, 1 million followers. But the good news is, even though I have 18,000 followers, the vast majority, when I look at my statistics, the vast majority of the people who watch my show are not subscribers. They're not subscribers. The Beard of Knowledge says, show a cable stretcher. That's a good one. I think I might have to do that. Like I said, I've got the bucket of dial tone, but I'm going to have to do the cable stretcher next. So yeah, we've created a community here. And that's why I said, I said at the very beginning, and I mean this from my bottom of my heart, this is your show. I'm just here to make sure that you get the information that you want. And that's really what it boils down to. So some of the notable guests that I've had over the year, I've had 3 authors on the show. I liked all of them, but I think one of my favorite ones, I've had John Daniels, the CEO of Bixie, on twice. I really love the episode I just recorded with him at Bixie. That'll be coming out in a few weeks. I've had subject matter experts. I've had engineers. But I think an episode coming up, I was supposed to record it this week, but I don't think it's going to get recorded. But one of the episodes I'm truly going to look forward to doing is a show on mental health in our industry. Mental health, right? Because, I know people in this industry who are drug addicts. I know people in this industry who are living on the streets because they're alcoholics. I know people in the street who have attempted suicide. I know people in this industry who are sex addicts. I'm telling you, we need to get better at mental health in our industry. And so I'm recording that with Wes Wheeler from NICA, and he's in charge of doing the mental health stuff for them. So be watching for that episode. That's gonna be my absolute favorite episode to even record, because I don't put this out there too often. I've said it before, but I am a pastor. I don't have a church right now. Man, I function as the men's pastor at a previous church. I have a calling for men's ministry. So that really resonates with me. The whole mental health of people in this industry, because our industry is vastly male oriented. We need to fix that, but it's vastly, male oriented. So love the that's coming up, right? And somebody says, from a sober perspective, I've seen it all in this industry. Exactly. And here's the thing. We don't talk about it enough, because what happens is then you think you're the only one who's going through those challenges in life. You're the only one who's dealing with that divorce. You're the only one who's dealing with, living on the streets. You're the only one dealing with whatever. And you are not. You are not alone. I'm so stoked for this thing. I don't know why is it restricting my thing. I don't know. What the heck? Hey, let's go ahead and do another gift one, because I told you I was going to be giving away a bunch of stuff. Let me see. I did question number 1, question number 2. Okay, ceiling stingray. This is the next one. Ceiling stingray. Anybody know what this is? Ceiling stingray. You put it in the corner of a 2x2 ceiling, and then when you pull the cable up, you got that nice smooth edge. Yes. Get ready to win it. Here we go. Flip over. Question number 3. Let's see who can answer this. Okay. What is the subject of the most popular audio episode? What is the subject of the most popular audio episode? If you get it correct, I'll send you this ceiling stingray to make your job just a little bit easier. So if you don't know, just take a guess in the boxes there, right? All right. Okay, got the Gennard version of that's really nice. Yes, Gennard one is nice. I don't have the Gennard one. So, what is the subject of the most listened to audio episode on Let's Talk Cabling? What is the subject? So somebody said fiber. It's not fiber. Okay. I got another one. RCDD. So I'm gonna give it to you. Because that's close. The most popular episode, I got my notes here. The most popular audio episode downloaded is certifications and why do they matter? Which RCD is a certification. So now you get 2 things. Gary, make sure that you again send me your DM with your messages with your address that I can ship that to. I have talked about 2-pair Ethernet, but it didn't get the most views, the most audio views. That's kind of weird though, right? It's the most audio, it's most weird. So, I got lots of great stuff coming up in the thing. Like I already mentioned, the mental health one. I've got an episode where I do a tour through the JATC facility in Las Vegas. I've got another one where I sit down with Chuck Wilson. We talk about the top 5 myths. I'm got one with Oberon to talk about wireless. I've got another episode lined up with, I've got lots of them. Where can I find these episodes? Excellent question. So there's 2 ways you can get to it. You can go straight to my web page, which is letstalkcabling.com, or you can just go to YouTube. You'll find the videos there. You can go to any audio podcast platform, Amazon, Google, Apple, all over. Just type in Let's Talk Cabling. You will find the episodes. You will find them. And like I said earlier, there's 338 of them. 338 of them. And I talk about everything. I love waxing poetic about structured cabling. Right? Yeah. Hey, let me do one. Let's go do another poll question. I want to know. I did that one already. Where's my other one at? All right, ask that one. Let's go and do this one. There we go. No, I did that one already. Oops. Obviously, it's a live show, right? I asked that one too. No, let's do this one. How long have you been listening or watching the Let's Talk Cabling content? How long have you been listening to or watching the Let's Talk Cabling content? Go ahead and tell me in the chat box. Like I said, it's 5 years old, and I've seen a lot of traction, like I said, over the last year and a half, and it's been around for a while. So Mr. Brown says 3 years, right? And I don't expect you to listen to every single episode. I get that. I don't even my favorite podcasts that I listen to, I don't listen to every single episode of them. I understand that. Just listen to what seems to resonate with you. Resonate with you. Okay? What resonates with you. Because that's what really matters. Tim says 6 months. Well, welcome, Tim. Another thing that I've done because of the podcast is I've done 5 RCDD study groups. The first one I did for free. The next ones aren't. And the reason for that, the reason the RC study groups are not free is because it costs money to run the podcast. It costs money. I got to pay for the Buzzsprout feed. I got to pay for the Adobe software to edit. I got to pay for my mail chip platform, chip mail or MailChimp or whatever it is, right? Everybody wants a piece of Chuck. Everybody wants a piece of Chuck. So, if you haven't already, why not become a Patreon member? Go to Patreon, look up Let's Talk Cabling, give $5 a month, $10 a month, $20 a month. If you give $20 a month, and when I was at the Big City Conference, I gave away like 5 of these, and I gave them to people who've been donating $20 a month, and they hit the $500 level, So again, there's only 25 of these challenge coins, only 25, and there's only going to be 25, and they are individually numbered, right? I got number 1. My wife has number 2. This is coin number 22 of 25. 22, and I'm going to give this away tonight. I'm giving this away tonight to somebody who can answer the question for that challenge coin, right? So yeah, it's been around. I love the fact that everybody, it absolutely humbles me that people take time out of their busy day just to listen to my podcast. It absolutely humbles me. It truly does. And I said earlier, I hope that it really makes an impact in your career, helps you become more efficient, make more money, right? Make more money. Hey, let's go and do another one. Let's see. We did number 3, the Stingray. Now comes a good one. But before I let me give you the background on this one. Now this thing that I'm giving away, I actually bought this. I interviewed the guy, and then I was like, man, that's so cool. I need one of them. And I bought it, and I haven't used it. So I'm giving it away if you can answer my question correctly. But let's watch a video on the Omni shelf so you can understand what is this thing that Chuck is giving away. Let's go and watch this video. Okay. Got one mounted on the shelf behind you. Why don't you give us a walkthrough on it?
Yeah, I'll show. I got it set up.
Make sure you talk loud so we can hear you in the microphone.
Yeah, I'm kind of soft-spoken too. So this is the Omni. Some people get hung up that it's not just for a laptop. It's for a workbench or whatever. See here, I got drill hanging off of it, the impact hanging off. You can hang it off the sides as well. There's pockets up front. You can put hardware in as you're working. It'll hold most hand tools. These little rare earth magnets latch it closed. They have about 6 or.
Got one mounted on. Close that off. Close that away. Go away there. So it's a magnetic shelf. It opens up, right? And the magnet opens up upside down. Hey, Vanna White her job is still safe. Yeah. So you open it up. It's got magnets on it, so you can actually put this on a rack. And then it's got a shelf that you can put your computer while you're doing your stuff. As you saw in the video, he had drills hanging off of this. It's got a spot in the back for like your prints and stuff. I'm also going to throw in, if you don't want to use the magnets, I'm throwing in the suction cups. Now I think this goes for about $130, I think, if I remember right. Answer this question right, and you'll get it for free. Answer this question right, and you'll get it for free. Let me look at my notes. Which one is it? Okay, here we go. So it's going to be question number 4. What is the subject of the most popular YouTube video that I'd created? What is the subject of the most popular YouTube video that I just created? Okay. So, yeah. And I was surprised. I was truly surprised because I've always considered this a weak area in our industry, but evidently my harping on it all the time is making a difference. So again, what do you think is the subject of the most popular YouTube video? Put that in the chat box and I will the first person who says it is going to get that Omni shelf. So starting to see some answers come in. No, it's not splicing. It's not power distribution. It's not bidding. Think of it this way. It's something that we as an industry is typically weak at. What do you see people making mistakes most often in? It's not estimating. Communications. Oh, that would have been a good one, Sticky. Communications. That would have been a good one. But it's not communications. Give you guys a few more seconds to answer it. I really want to give this thing away. I truly do. Documenting, RCDD. Nope. I'll give you a hint. I filmed it in Las Vegas. And it's already been put out. The video is probably only like a week. Tim. Yes, Tim. Bonding and grounding. Tim, send me a message with your shipping address so I can send you the Omni shelf, okay? It was on bonding and grounding. I filmed it at the JATC in Las Vegas. It has like 15,000 views. It was a short, 15,000 views. Yeah, pretty cool stuff, man. Pretty cool stuff. Let me flip back over to the thing because I really want to come back and revisit this because I didn't really get a whole bunch of answers. So I want to get this another one again. Tell me in the chat box or in your wherever you talk community, what content do you want me to see me do more? Now, I did get the one suggestion from Steve already, from Sean already about doing hands-on stuff, but I need some ideas. I need to know, what do you want to see? What content resonates with you? Okay. So there we go. RCDD, absolutely. I can do more on the RCDD. That's actually a good idea. A great idea. You know, let me put this out there as well too. If you ever see me at a Bixie conference or any kind of conference, please come up and say hi to me. I'm going to tell you now, I'm probably going to have a lot of people around me, not because not because of the podcast, because Chuck has been in this industry for 40 years and I know a lot of people. Okay. So please come up and say hi to me because I love meeting people. I love talking to people and I love knowing how this podcast has impacted you. Because, you know, that's the true, for me, measurement of success. The true measurement of success. Alrighty. It truly is. Okay, let's do it. All right, I'm at 7:33, so we're at 30 minutes. Let's give away the challenge coin. So get your typing fingers ready. Let me flip over to my text box so I can see where that question is. Question number 5. And that's, the challenge coins are special. So this question is going to be hard. Okay. I'm just going to tell you that right now. As I said, I've interviewed a lot of people. Only one has ever been interviewed in this podcast studio. Who was it? Who was the person that I interviewed in this podcast studio? Normally I do them through Zoom calls and stuff like that, or on site at places. Only one person has ever had the honor, the privilege to be interviewed in this actual podcast studio. Okay. Let me see. Jim Haynes. Nope, was not Jim. I'd love to get Jim back on the show, by the way. Love to get him back on the show. Okay. Who was the only person who interviewed inside of this. I'll tell you what the show was about. Project management. I was comparing the RTPM versus the PMP. That's what the show was about. Who was the guest that was in this show? As a matter of fact, it wasn't in this studio. It was actually in my older studio, which used to be out there. I moved it in here later on. Tim Carroll, no, good guess, but Tim Carroll is he's an author, and we talked about sales. Great question. Great though, right? I want to say your brother, but I think you were at his house. So I did interview my brother at his house. So technically that wouldn't be in this podcast studio. But that's a good guess. Good guess. All right, since nobody got that one, that was kind of a hard one. Let me come up with one more question because I really want to give away this challenge coin. Let me see. I've got a list of potential trivia questions here. Let's see here. All righty. Now this is going to be an easy one. So the first person to type it in, and I'm watching both feeds at the same time. The first person to type it in gets it. Okay? Challenge coin. Right? Challenge coin. You ready? Here we go. My question is, what is my catchphrase that I say at the end of every episode? What is my catchphrase that I say at the end of every episode? I'll give you a hint. It's on the back side of this challenge coin. It's on the back side of it. There it is. Mr. Brown, you did it again. Yes, knowledge is power. That is the catchphrase of the show. So evidently you're getting everything tonight. You're getting the challenge coin, you're getting the stickers, you're getting the hat. You're getting everything, man. Everything. So good job, man. Knowledge is power. Yes, exactly right. So that wraps up the 5-year anniversary show. I've got another 5 years left in me easily. I want to start doing more stuff up in the new podcast studio. You'll see hands-on stuff when I'm putting in the conduit, stuff like that. And follow me so I'll inbox you. Okay, I don't know how to do that, so hold on one second. Reply. There we go. So, all right, everybody. I appreciate everybody coming on tonight and celebrating with me the episode. And I look forward to more content in the future. And I appreciate everybody being here today. Until next time, remember, knowledge is power.
On Let's Talk Cabling. Stay tuned for more episodes filled with innovation.